everybody, it's Jen. Welcome back to my channel, Hallmark Plus More, where we watch and talk about shows, movies, mysteries, Hallmark ornaments, and anything else that floats our boat. So today we're going to be discussing Elsbeth, Season 2, Episode 5. It airs on CBS, starring Carrie Preston as Elsbeth. So let's just get right on into discussing this episode. So this one was interesting because it was about a chef. And kind of like in most Elsbeth episodes, you see that murder within the first scene of the show, right? So you kind of see it. You see that this chef kind of has a temper, right? She's kind of telling everybody what to do. She basically runs everything in the restaurant. Even the gentleman, which we find out has worked for over 20 years, who takes the reservations, she's just kind of barking at everybody. And when you have situations like that, obviously you're going to have employees that resent you or, you know what I mean, that are upset with you. So right off the bat, I was thinking, okay, it's probably her with her temper. And it was, you see that, she kills Jordan when he was downstairs cleaning. He had worked for her for 2 years. And basically this is a high class, high profile restaurant. And he was selling reservations on the side through an app. And, she had some high profile clients. And he had sold their tables right under them. And they were young, kind of taking selfies, taking pictures of their food, what young people do nowadays. And I think that kind of rubbed the chef the wrong way because she had VIPs coming. And it seemed like, in my opinion, she was very much a control freak, very much a perfectionist, very frustrated because things weren't going her way. She had VIPs lined up, she had special tables set out for them, and this young guy working for her was kind of undermining her and getting money on the side by selling reservations. One in particular was a very big VIP. He owned chain hotels and was looking for a chef for all of his hotels in different locations. So she was very upset, that him selling his reservations kind of on the black market through this app. These very elite VIPs come in and their tables are gone because of what he was doing on the app. So obviously that infuriated her. And then, he, I guess, is a chef or a cook himself, because before she killed him, he was saying, hey, you're not seeing any of my recipes. And she was kind of degrading them, obviously, as she's hitting him, but he was recording it. So I think that was the final straw. Like, he's like, wait until everybody sees what a monster you are, basically. And I think that's when she just killed him, right? And then she beat her own self up, threw her own self down the stairs to make it look like she was attacked. But in the first scene, right after she was attacked, you see you hear the timer go off, her duck, that she's cooking, right? She has very specific instructions on how she cooks her food. As I mentioned, she's a perfectionist. So when I heard the timer, I was like, yep, that's the evidence that's going to put her away. So most of the time, the reason why I like watching Elsbeth is because it's a different spin on crime drama, right? It's kind of like a Columbo, modern day Columbo, where you see the murder and then you wait and kind of see Elsbeth and the police, how they gather evidence, how they're able to get them convicted, right? You already know who did it, but now you have to legally go through protocol and get them arrested and see the evidence. So for this one, I thought, I don't really need to see the whole episode. I know the timer, she's going to pretend like she was unconscious, but obviously she wasn't, because she got up when the timer was done and turned the duck or prepared it, you know what I mean? And then she told police she was unconscious the whole time. So, this one didn't really give me much suspense because I felt like I kind of knew how they were going to prove it. So not my favorite Elsbeth episode. However, I mentioned this before in my other videos. I love Kayla. I love Captain Wagner. I love the regular characters on the show. So I do like that side story about how Elsbeth and Kayla are living together, and Kind of how in every episode Elsbeth does stuff and finds evidence that the police doesn't do or can't do. So her spending all those hours making duck in her own kitchen actually helped, because then she was able to know what I was telling you earlier about the timer, because she was, looking up all these different recipes and trying to find the specific recipe that she uses for the duck to try to get evidence against her. And it worked. Those hours in her kitchen worked because she found the recipe that the chef used, and she was able to prove, like, hey, the timer would have gone off, which means when you were telling us you were lying there unconscious, you really got up and when the timer went off and changed the duck or flipped it over or whatever. So yes, that's kind of interesting why I like to watch Elsbeth, because she does these things that the police doesn't do, and yet they matter. Her spending hours in her kitchen trying to cook duck from these videos, she was able to see, wait a second, she prepares it this way, which means while she was unconscious, somebody must have flipped the bird because it came out perfect the next day. So yeah, I definitely knew it was the timer, and, just waiting for Elsbeth to figure it out too. And then, Captain Wagner trying to get people on his nice side, which I hope they do, because I think that character is a good person. You know what I mean? So he's trying to get people at poker game, and I like the way Kayla come in at the end. And I really hope, his little strategy works, because I really think he's a good guy. So, but he's also the boss. So I definitely understand why people are a little hesitant to come around and be friendly with them. But I hope, that does happen, that they come around. But all in all, I thought it was a good episode, mainly because of those three main characters. I think they do so well in the show. So I hope you enjoyed the review. I hope you enjoyed the episode. If you're a foodie, or it was interesting to see kind of how the chef did the duck. So definitely interesting and fun to watch, because a good episode with Elsbeth, Kayla, and Captain Wagner. So I hope you enjoyed my episode. Thank you, everybody who watches and subscribes to my channel. I appreciate you more than you know. And until the next episode, bye.